Welcome to Your American Dream. I'm Anisha Jennings, and today I'm excited to welcome Jazz Oberoi to the show. Jazz is a certified image consultant and color analyst trained by the International Image Institute and the Universal Style System. After a successful career in program management, working with product and engineering teams, she pivoted into her true passion, which is helping women in transition, moms, and professionals feel confident in what they wear without the stress of figuring it all alone. Through color analysis, closet edits, and outfit planning, Jazz helps women embrace intentional style that reflects who they are today. Welcome, Jazz. Thank you so much for being on my show today.
Thank you so much. I am so honored to be here and talking to you, and I'm really looking forward to our conversation.
Yes, likewise. So, from your introduction that I just said, you pivoted from like a tech field, like a professional corporate, to now this is like a different field. But I know it stemmed from your interest as you explained to me before. So let's start from the beginning. Let's start with how it all started, how this dream was, where the seed was planted, your journey from India to here to the US, your love story, and your business. So let's
Gosh.
hear it all.
Wow, that's a whole life story. So I was in my very early teens when my uncle, my dad's brother, moved here. And both the brothers are very close. They had a business back home when he moved here because his wife's entire family was here. So they called him over. And my uncle wanted my dad to move as well. We are three daughters, and my family wanted to provide us all the opportunities possible for all three of us. So my dad didn't. He did not want to move to the States. But for us, for the girls, he decided to move. So I moved here in very early teens in high school. I didn't have a cultural shock, or not that I remember by which I was impacted. The vivid memories of me moving here and the shock and the hard times I went through was with my parents. I was the eldest one. We are Sikhs. My parents are very traditional, very, very traditional. Being the eldest one, coming to the Western, world, I had to fight some tough, tough, tough battles with them. However, I'm grateful for those hard times. I'm grateful for my parents and how they've raised me. We've had a very good blend of our culture and how we have adopted to Western culture as well. So very balanced life. And so that happened. We moved high school, did graduation with one of the UCs here, and then started my tech career, right after my very first role was with Intel. I was one of those early Salesforce, admins and developers. That's how I started my career with Salesforce, then got into program and strategy, working alongside CPTOs, in my last, company. That career was for 15, 16 years. In between, I got married. I got married to a guy from Mumbai. A family friend introduced. We were both not ready to meet each other because he was in India and I was here. He never wanted to move here. I never thought I would even talk to a guy in India. However, we ended up talking on the phone. I was going to India for my sister's wedding. So I thought, okay, let me just talk to this guy. In our very first meeting, he told me he was in Mumbai, I was in Delhi, and he said, I'm not coming. I'm not spending all the money to come meet you in Delhi. You can come here. I was like, okay. And I was like, I'm not coming to Mumbai. So we decided midway Bhopal. We met in Bhopal because one of my uncle lives there. So I decided to go there, and we met midway. And in our very first meeting, he goes like, look, we can only take things forward if you decide to move to India, because I'm not moving to US. I'm happy where I am. And I'm like, all right. And his sisters lived here. She got married and she moved here with job for like 15 years prior. So he never had an interest, and his another sister was in Australia. But I really liked the guy. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll move to India if things work out. And I think by that time I was like, I don't know, 14, 13 years in living in the States, something like that. And anyways, we met. We then continued to meet. And my condition was, I'll move to India. I'll give you 2 years, not 6 months or a year. If 2 years, I can't physically take it or emotionally take it,
Mhm.
the changes, because then the cultural shock otherwise a lot harder,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
It's a lot
absolutely.
harder. If I can't, then you've got to give me 2 years and you've got to come here. He's like, okay, fine. But I moved. I got married. I
Wow.
moved back. Everybody in my family thought that there must have been some sort of my one of my uncles took me on a drive and said, hey, is everything okay? Are you
Some
being forced
blackmailing.
by your parents or by the guy? Did something happen? Is something wrong? Are you sure? I'm here to support you. And I was like, no, I genuinely like the guy and he's in Mumbai. I'm fine. But he's like, you never wanted to talk to a guy from India. Like, now you're moving. And I'm like, well, things happen. So it's okay. So my entire family's here, by the way. So I had no one except, my distant family, like, my
Mm,
mamas and chachas and stuff like that. But like all my immediate family is here. So it
wow.
was a bigger like shock, right, to everyone. So anyway, so I moved back to India. I had great 5 months in Mumbai. I was not looking to move back. But destiny had something else. I came back to resign with Intel. I had got extended leave. And when I was going to give my resignation, he's like, it's okay. Just, go meet your parents, spend some time, work. He wanted to switch. Talked about it before married that he'd been wanting to switch his careers because he was a sales engineer in petrochemicals. So he's been wanting to, look for something else. And then he's like, okay, I'll come visit your family and parents there and then we'll figure it out. He came just as a visitor visa to just meet my family here to so I can show him around, spend like
Mhm.
a month here. And yeah, after that we never went back. And he eventually moved. I filed for his green card and yeah, so anyway, so that was our, love story.
I love that story. It's like
Yeah.
I'm listening to it again, and yet it's so
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, I know. So yeah, Destiny had us here. He built his business in real estate as a real estate investor. He flips homes. So he did that. We had our daughter and she's 6. And I realized last 5 years that my time was going away because
Mm,
our time with our daughter was going away because he's in business in real estate in Bay Area. So it was intense. His schedule is really intense. And I was climbing up the ladder really fast. So my schedule got intense with all tech companies, right? You're working
yes.
all hours. You are global companies, you're working in all time zones.
Yep.
So it became extremely challenging. So I decided to take a break. I decided to quit and think through what I wanted. I had no idea when I quit what I was going to do.
Mm,
So after I quit, I had a lot of time with myself, a lot of coffee dates with myself every day. And then I started, drilling down the process. What am I good at? What am I passionate about? How can I help people what I love? And it came down to fashion and travel. And I'm like, but how can I help people with that? Yes, I love dressing up and I love traveling, but this is not something I can help people with. And then I started looking at, opportunities and careers in that area. And I realized image consulting was something that I can help people with because often people have come up and asked me like, hey, where did you pick that up? Hey, like, you look, really good. So I love dressing up, but I don't dress, lack of, good, positive word. I'm not like the ramp girl. I'm not like a bling and shine and, not that, like not New York fashion or not. I just dress for the day. I just dress for the, occasion. I dress to like, appropriate but good enough to just feel good. Like,
right.
what day to day people can wear, and
Right.
you don't have to dress up to go to a party, but like just, well dressed, right? So, anyway, so people have always asked me, my husband's always told me, like, how are you so fast? Like, even when I shop for him, like, I'm really fast. So, he's been telling me for years, like, you should do something on Shopify or you should do something, you're so good at like just picking things up and people just love what you pick. So I've always had that in back of my head. So when I started looking at careers, image consulting, was something I was very interested in. And I did some courses online, then I did a course in person. And that's how I started on this journey. And it's been very rewarding. I thank my stars every day I am where I am. I feel at home. I have control over time. I took break over the summer because I wanted to spend time with my daughter. So did not work with any new clients, did not do any. So it's just been it's been a blessing. It's been amazing. It's fun. I love to hear when clients come back and tell me that just a software engineer, continuing to be a software engineer, just feeling so much more happy about themselves and they feel
Mhm.
empowered. So just hearing that, because I like to work with day to day people. I'm a
Right.
day to day person. So yeah, it's been
Beautiful.
amazing.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing that journey. I loved listening to your story the first time and I'm
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
loving it. So, during your switch, you did mention that, you were feeling those Monday blues. You felt like, you had lost all purpose and you didn't want to continue working like clockwork and you wanted a shift. So,
Hmm.
what would be your advice to other women who feel stuck in that phase or
Hmm.
who want to make the switch but don't know what to do? What would be your advice on how to pick themselves up and move on?
Yeah. So I think one, I do have to accept that the privilege I have, many don't in this country, right?
Hmm.
I am a citizen. I am not H1. I can't imagine people who are on visas and
Right.
they have to maintain their status. So that in itself is very, very challenging.
Yes.
But however, I still feel that if one feels stuck in their, career and they don't know what to do, you always have choice to take a step.
Yeah.
It was not an easy one for me. I had to let go of an income which will take me time to come up to.
Right.
It's been a year. I'm without a paycheck. And to come to that level of monthly salary that I received in my business will take time and
Right.
it's not easy, right? But, I am ready to make some compromises. I am ready, like, it's fine. The peace I have,
Right.
going to bed at night,
Yes.
nothing compares the salary I used to, right? Get the time I get to spend with my daughter, the morning routine I have for myself. I am so much consistent with my, yoga, meditations, and walks, and, picking my daughter up like stress free and getting her ready stress free. Like, otherwise, I was just always rushing her, like,
Right.
I gotta get on the call. You do this, like, all of that's just disappeared, right? I'm a lot calmer. So you just have to make a choice. And what are your priorities? For me, I told my husband, like, if we are going to come, because travel is my another passion, I was like, if letting go of my job is going to compromise on the travel, on the way we travel and the places we travel, I'm not, like, it's so, like, I will go depressed if I don't travel. That's
Mhm.
how I am. So, we've put through the list, where we will need to draw a line and what our priority is. And that's how we go about it. So it's just, you always have a choice. And if there is something that you've been thinking that you want to do, you just really got to try it out.
Right.
You really got to take a step and pull that plug. Yes, with H1 visas, yes, you cannot, because you're tied to certain level of skills and you've got to
Yep.
continue. And I'm seeing there's a lot of stress in, market right now.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
been horrible. Often with friends, I discuss, like, if going back to India or, to their country is an option, then it's not a bad option. Like,
Right.
what is it that you're really, looking for? Okay, if kids are priority, you want to provide them opportunities here, then just focus on that, right? But yeah, not everybody, right?
Right. Right. So I would say the two takeaways from what you just said is that, being a US citizen is definitely a privilege. And we want
It
to say
is.
this to people who don't value it, right? Like being born
Yes.
here and having that,
Yes.
being a citizen
Yes.
is really a privilege.
Yes.
And
Yes. I agree.
people who are citizens should definitely learn to value it and, be grateful
Absolutely.
for it.
Absolutely.
And the second thing is that, you always have a choice. You just have to figure out what works best for you and your family. So,
Yeah.
thank you for
Absolutely.
sharing that. So, you emphasize intentional style. Tell us a little bit about what does that mean and why does it matter?
Intentional styling, right? Intentional styling is when you get up in the morning, you're getting dressed. What is your intention for the day? Are you looking to find more energy because you didn't have a good sleep? Or are you looking to get dressed for a meeting in office because you are going to meet your team in person? Are you getting on a stage to talk about something? Or are you extremely busy today because you've got a lot of pickups and drop-offs, from soccer games to whatever, right? What does your day look like? What is the comfort you're looking for in that intentional dressing? You should absolutely be comfortable in anything and everything you wear,
Right.
because once you're dressed, you shouldn't think about it the rest of the day, right? So that's what really intentional styling is, right?
Mhm.
For me, there are days I wear something bright like this because I need that energy.
Energy.
Th There are days when I have too much energy and I really need to calm myself down, so I go with, like, lighter stuff and lighter tones and fabrics and stuff. So intentional dressing is just think about what your day is gonna look like and what are you going to pull out from that closet.
Got it. So, how does something like a color analysis or closet edit go deeper than clothes to impact confidence and identity?
Absolutely. So color analysis, it's the beginning of your wardrobe and your clothings, and everything. If you're not wearing the colors that are right for you, that is your color palette, no matter how well you dress, you'll still not get that energy that you're looking for. For example, I have nothing on my face other than that lipstick. And I'm not kidding. I just did my and there's no filter here, there's no nothing, but I just have this lip color because this is the color in my palette.
Mm.
If I were to wear, I'm not summer or I'm not spring, where they have like these bright or light or muted colors. If I put that color on, I would not I wish I could just switch right now and show, like, I would look pale, I would look sick, and I would not be feeling this energy I have right now. Just because I've put this color on, my skin looks brighter. It may look like I have something on, but I don't. I have
Wow.
nothing else on my skin other than my moisturizer, sunscreen, and my lipstick. Like, really, right? So, and because I knew I was getting on camera and I wanted something nice and bright, and that's about it, right? So that's the power of color. It gives you energy, it makes you look healthy, it makes you look energetic.
Mm.
If you wear the wrong colors, which are not in your color palette, it will pull you down.
Mm.
The colors that you wear, your face will look saggy, you will look paler, you will look sick. And then eventually that color plays on you throughout the day and you'll feel a lot more tired.
Got it.
So knowing your right colors, I think, is so, so, so much more important than clothing, than anything else. That's the first step. And then you pick those colors up. Then you work on your clothing with that. You work on your makeup with that, or your hair color and everything else around it, because those colors really work for you.
Got it. Got it. So, what are your steps in, like, identifying colors for your clients, or if you had like advice for people on something to start with, what would that be?
So, color analysis, I do color analysis for people is, I do virtual and in person. It can take anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes in the session. And the steps for that is that you drape. If it is in person, I drape my clients in all different colors. And I show them that, okay, what color reflects well on you, what's not. We go through that process together.
Wow.
There are, 4 seasons. Well, we start with, basics. If you are a cool undertone or if you're a warm undertone.
Hmm.
And once we determine that, then we, go over whether you are spring, summer, or you are winter or, fall. So those are the 4 seasons that we are in. And then once we go season by season, we see which colors work best for them. I enjoy doing that in person. It's nice because as I drape people, they get to see what I'm doing, and
Hmm.
they see it in real, by themselves too, what colors are going well and what are not. Otherwise, virtually, I do all of that offline. Then I gotta get on a Zoom. Then I go through multiple different slides to show them that, why I thought this color was not looking good and why this is looking good. So there's a process around getting color analysis done. You should work
Wow.
with a professional. This is if one gets serious about investing in their wardrobe and in their lifestyle, in their image,
Hmm.
I highly recommend to get this done with a professional because all your investment in your image in your closet depends on the right colors. Because you
Wow.
can, if you go with a wrong, if you do this something online, everything online you do is all fed,
Yes.
standardized with for many people, but it's not for you. We all have unique coloring, but we all fall into one of these seasons. So it takes a professional to see that
Right.
with the color you are. So always working with a professional is I would always recommend.
Beautiful. So, what's one of your favorite transformations that you've seen with a client?
My favorite transformation. I worked with this wonderful, wonderful person. She started her own business after being a techie herself and, being a software engineer, sitting behind desk all day long. You don't tend to
Yes.
you know y- you're not bothered, like, I gotta do what I gotta do and
Right.
that's about it. But now, she's running a business, she's meeting clients, she's, pitching to people and all that stuff, so she needed some, right? And she is very, very simple. All she had were t-shirts that, let's say, she's got over the years from different events and companies or conferences she's went to, and couple pants and hoodies from those events too, and that's it. That's
Love it.
that's just her basic style, and that's her comfort, right? So my job was to continue to provide that comfort
Right.
to her. No, not much change, and that was a big challenge. And then give her a little different look, and that also included, no dresses, long pants, very comfortable t-shirt and shirt, and something as comfortable as hoodies, right? So working through giving her, upgrade on, okay, from those company t-shirts, let's, move to some basic tees. How can you layer things? Let's look at sweaters. Let's look at one or two blazers, pants that really fit you and flatter you. I remember talking to her and I was like, I think you would look wonderful in, wide leg pants. She's like, oh, no, no, they are too open. Like the wide legs are too open. I'll feel the air and I will feel like there's nothing sticking to my skin. I don't know how that would go. I was like, okay, all right. So, she had to absolutely feel comfortable from um, every aspect. So, anyways, I did get her white leg pants. I did tell her, okay, if you feel that there's nothing else inside, then let's put a slacks under, right,
Right.
to see how you feel. Anyways, so the transformation was amazing. And then again, it's not a transformation, it's just giving her like her own comfort and style in slightly different fabrics and different ways. And till date, I get, messages. She's like, oh my God, I never thought how good I can feel in this blazer that we invested in.
Wow.
I never thought how good I can feel in the white button down shirt, right? Those were very simple basic things that we think that we all have, but and I'm getting her trust for the intention. I was like, okay, you don't have to wear the shirt, like, you go when you meet a client, you wear this shirt, you can layer it with a blazer or you can layer it with a sweater, you can keep a hoodie in the trunk if you think you need a hoodie because you're not feeling comfortable, because I do not want you to go in feeling uncomfortable.
Right.
I need you to feel the comfort. So I said, keep the hoodie in the trunk. If you're not feeling it, just put the hoodie on. It's not end of the world. It's okay. Then I told her, okay, all the things that I shopped for her once they got delivered at home, I was like, first, start wearing them at home. Be
Right.
at home. When you get on a Zoom call, put all of this stuff at home one by one. So your body and mind gets used to these things and you
Right.
know what's working, what's not working for you. So it's just not about clothing. It's about like the mental connection with
Right.
certain things, right? The certain pieces that you have. And all of those pieces were very conservative, very, good fabric and all, but it's just she never tried them on and she could get nervous and anxious. And I did not want that. So, it's like a consultation process,
Right.
counseling process as you go through these things and how it can work with different people. So yeah, that's been my favorite one so far. It was one of the most challenging ones because I had very little room to work with,
Wow.
but it turned out really well.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing. That's amazing. So,
Yes.
what advice do you have for women who feel stuck in a role, a wardrobe, or even an identity that no longer fits them?
My advice to people are that, we put ourselves, always at the end. We are looking at the job is our priority, kids are our priority, families are our priority, and we tend to think like we don't have time for
Right.
ourselves. It's okay. This is not. But I feel like all you have to do is give yourself that 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever time you can in the morning to yourself when you get dressed and dress with intention,
Right.
right? And that doesn't come easy. You've got to learn the process. That's the investment you have to do upfront. And once you've done that investment, whether working with a professional or on your own, once you've done that investment about yourself, then day to day, it shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes. Your wardrobe is ready in the right colors and the right fabrics and the however you want, right? You just have to give 10 minutes in the morning. And once you get dressed, the rest of the day becomes for you,
Right.
everything amplifies because you feel so good about yourself. You start the day feeling good about yourself,
Right.
right? No matter how grumpy you woke up, no matter how stressed you woke up. But once you put the right things on, I guarantee almost everyone, if you've done it right, you will see the shift in energy from being stressed out and grumpy, feeling empowered, feeling energetic, feeling, okay, you know what? Day looks shitty. I'm going to get through it and I'm going to make things work. I'm going to turn things around. I've tested and tried myself many times. I've heard clients telling me that it's just as simple. You can just put a t shirt, just a plain white t shirt on with any pants that you find comfort in, whether it's jeans or straight pants or whatever. It's just as simple as that. But because you are intentional about it, this is what I'm going to put on because these are the things I have to get done today. You'll feel absolutely confident and good. So it's so important to just give that initial investment and give 5-10 minutes in the morning and you're good.
Wow. That makes so much sense. So, how do you see style as a bridge between who we were and who we're becoming?
We all go through different phases in life, different decades. We evolve, right, ourselves from our 20s and 30s and 40s, and each decade has different attachment, from college to getting a new job to getting a family and then raising a family, right? And every time you move through it, you have to look through, okay, am I who I am? Do I show up,
Right.
and physically, emotionally, the way I should show up, right? And that's where you connect yourself to who you are. I could have been, graduating from college to now getting in a new career, or, I've had a career, I am getting married or getting kids, right? Your style will change
Right.
even if you're not doing any of these, your body will change through decades. And if you're not keeping up with your style, you will feel lost. You will feel there is something missing. You'll feel some sort of void because you've not paid attention to yourself,
Right.
right? When we move through our 30s and 40s and we get into our 50s, we feel like I wish I was, I looked like this when I look at our pictures.
Mm.
Or when we become moms, I wish I had my pre pregnancy body. No, whether you became mom or not, from 20s to 40s, your body is going to change.
Yes, absolutely.
No matter what, it will change, right? One way or the other. You've got to dress for that. You've got to see, like, there are colors that you may like in your 20 and there are colors that you may like in your 40 that you don't anymore like it. So you just have to pay attention to a little bit, of those things and connect yourself with that.
Right, right. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, what does working with you look like? What is the process? And if somebody wants to reach out to you, what would be the best way?
I am very active on social media. On the two platforms I'm the most active on is Instagram and my LinkedIn, right? To connect with all the tech people there. So you see me there, talk about a lot of stuff. But on my website, once you go, there's a pop up. You can have 15, 20 minutes free consultation. Just talk to me. You have any questions? It's a nothing else. You just ask any questions that you have in 20 minutes. I'll answer, the best I can. And if not, you just book a call. There's a process, various different packages. My website is very detailed. Just look through and book a call with me.
Perfect. We will have all these in the show notes for our listeners. So, if you could leave our listeners with one truth about style and self worth, what would it be?
Yourself, you look at yourself in the mirror, and there is nobody like you, and there can be nobody like you. Respect yourself, honor your body through every phase. Don't look at what you were yesterday. Don't look at what you want to be tomorrow. Just embrace who you are today, right? And in terms of style, I urge you, even if you are sitting behind desk, working from home, just give yourself 2 minutes in the morning to get out of those pajamas. Just put anything on that you like and sit through the day and work in that. Something that provides you comfort. It has to be comfortable. Just switch your routine to what you wear every day. We get comfortable with certain things, pajamas, and just because we think we are home or we're not going, and work with something different. It's something that you maybe wear on weekend that you are comfortable in, that wear that during the week and see the shift in energy.
Right, right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for being here and sharing your expertise and telling us so much more about styling and comfort. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
As we wrap up this inspiring conversation with Jazz, remember that reinvention begins with the courage to ask, does this still align with who I am becoming? Whether in your career, your style, or your daily choices, alignment creates confidence. If you're ready to bring that same alignment to your digital presence, I'd love to help you create a website that truly reflects your next chapter, whether on WordPress or Squarespace. This is Anisha Jennings reminding you that your American dream is not about staying the same, but about becoming all that you are meant to be. Until next time.